All right, today we're going to talk about the 3 secrets to increasing your coaching prices. Now, I'm going to explain to you 3 things that very few people will tell you, because here's what a lot of coaches do to increase their coaching prices. That does not work. The first thing they do is they just simply increase their prices. So let's say only 1 in 5 people is moving forward with you on your calls, so that's 20%. And coaches will try, maybe they're charging $3,000 and just charge $5,000. Guess what happens? The conversion rate drops, right? Or they'll be more, the second thing they will do is they'll get more aggressive on the objection handling. They'll start playing more objection whack-a-mole with the people and start really hard closing them and doing all these things, and it just doesn't work, right? And then the third thing they will try is more fear-mongering and just like really injecting a lot of fear into the call of, if you don't do this, your life's going to be a disaster, so on and so forth. And those 3 things don't work. And I mean, they can, but they're not going to be sustainable, and they're not going to give you what you want. You can eventually just burn out. So there are 3 things that I would suggest doing to increase your coaching prices that actually have nothing to do with your prices. The price increase is going to be a result. Again, the third one is most important. So the first thing we need to do is we need to use a traffic source that will give us better buyers, okay? The secret to charging more is working with people who will pay you more, right? Like, for example, if you go to a BMW dealership, or if the BMW dealership's advertising selling their $5,000 used BMW car, and those people who are interested in that $5,000 car come in, it's going to be almost impossible for the salesperson to upsell them to like a $100,000 thing in the showroom floor, right? Like, that just doesn't make sense. It's like, I came in for a $5,000 thing. I'm a $5,000 car buyer. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with your coaching business. If you just simply get better buyers, what's going to happen is your prices will just increase naturally, versus trying to drag and extract more cash out of people who are not qualified. That's one of the biggest things we need to do. So the question is, great, Jason, that's awesome. How and what, right? That's the first thing is, if we want to target better buyers, then what do we do to get these better buyers? So one of the problems is a lot of coaches are just basically plastering their stuff all over social media and for reels on Instagram and stuff like that, or just friend requesting everybody, joining groups, all that kind of stuff. And the problem is you're just not getting a lot of quality. So what you need to do is, I recommend Facebook ads, because Facebook ads can target buyers. You can target people based on household income. You can target buying patterns, and we can get really niche down and actually pull these potential buyers right out and have them to be super qualified. Because you got to remember, when you're just posting all over the internet and creating articles and content and stuff like that, you have no control who's coming at you, right? You have no control who's going to read it. You have no control of any of that stuff. So you just got to take whatever you can get and hope that somebody's going to buy something. So it's a very bad idea. So the first thing we want to do is be very strategic and get buyers, ideally from Facebook ads, because again, no source out there for getting clients has the data that Facebook has on your people and what they're clicking on. And again, you can target by the top 5% of household income, 10%, 25%, 50%. You can target. There's a lot of ways we can do it, and that's the first thing. Now, the second thing you need to do, which is super important that most coaches do not do, is we need to use a proper funnel, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's talk about what most people do. Most people will chat somebody on Facebook or wherever, Instagram or whatever it is, or they'll get a referral, and then they'll just get on the phone. They're just like, oh my gosh, somebody wants to talk to me about working with me. So they get them on their calendar, and like half of them no-show, and the other half are like, oh yeah, sounds good, I'll think about it, send me an agreement, send me a contract. I don't like making decisions like this on the phone. They'll just give you all kinds of excuses, and you're like, why are they not buying? What did they do wrong, right? And then so you kind of pressure them all more, and it still doesn't work, and you can't raise your prices. So what we want to do is we want to run them through a funnel first. Now, how this is going to happen is, ideally, we're going to take them from a traffic source, and we're going to get them to take some steps, okay? And the goal to do that is to disqualify the non-buyers, and it's to ascend the buyers in terms of a higher relationship frequency or credibility with you, because we want good marketing to take care of the sales process before the sales call, okay? So how that's going to look is, what you're going to do is you're going to take them ideally to a webinar, an automated webinar that starts every 15 minutes or so or something like that, because it gives good value and you get a good show up rate. My webinars get about 70% show up rate, 75% show up rate, whereas an ebook or a video or something like this is going to get like a 20% show up rate. So we want a good 70% show up rate, so you get a 70% engagement of those people. And now you've built a relationship, you've explained your process, you've shown them all this kind of stuff, diagnosed everything, and then they book a call. And then they'll probably, well, at that point, they still are not going to show up. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes here of how to fix that. But this way, it gets them to a higher relationship level with you before the call. Because if you're just driving them to a call, they're going to forget about it. The people who are going to show up are just going to be like, who are you? Why are you calling me? I don't even know who you are, that type of thing. And it's just not going to work, right? The other thing is, even with referrals, anybody who comes to us and wants as a referral, we always send them through our funnel, always, because we don't want to take time on the phone to just explain everything and then have them go away and then watch a webinar replay and then do a follow-up call. It just doesn't make any sense. It's a waste of time for them. It's a waste of time for us. So the second thing we need to do is accelerate that relationship so that there's more relationship currency built, so that by the time they talk to you, they already are like, oh, wow, I can't not work with you. This is amazing. And in turn, you can just naturally increase your prices. So do you see how 1 and 2 work together? We want to get a better buyer. And then number 2, we want to get them to a higher relationship level before the call. So that's the first 2 things. Now, the third thing is the most important. Very few coaches, maybe 1%, do what I'm about to tell you. So I'm glad you've waited till the end so we can talk about this. Before we do, I need you to do 2 quick things. Number 1, hit the like button. All right, hit that like button so I know you like this video, so I can create more of them for you like this. All right. Second thing you need to do is hit the subscribe button. It's somewhere around this video. Just hit subscribe. And the reason is I create a ton of free content, and it's all based on the fact that I spent a ton of money on Facebook ads in the coaching niche, trying to get coaching clients, and have for years. I've spent about $2.8 million literally since 2021 or something like that. And so what I do is I take all the stuff that I'm doing on Facebook ads to get clients and all the stuff we're doing with our clients, and I want to share it with you. What's working, what's not working, mistakes, ideas, strategies, secrets that you can use. And again, it's all free for you. But here's the problem. If you don't know those videos are being dropped on YouTube, you'll never see them. And so it only takes one video with one proper strategy that you get that could literally turn your business around. So what you need you to do, hit that subscribe button right now so that you're going to be updated on all the upcoming videos, so that you'll know about them and you can get them and you can see what's going on and all the mistakes and learnings and successes we're having, so that we can share with you. All right, number 3. Now remember, 3 secrets to increasing your coaching prices. The first one, like we said, use a better traffic source that has better buyers. The second thing is, we're going to run them through a proper funnel first that creates a higher engagement frequency and relationship currency, right? So that they're like, oh my gosh, I can't not work with you before they get on the call. The third thing is we're going to indoctrinate them, okay? This isn't some weird psychological trick or anything like that. But what's going to happen is this. When they book a call, here's what most coaches do. They're like, hey, we'll see you on the call. Here's an email confirmation. Here's a Google Calendar invite or something like that. And they don't do anything, and then next thing you know, only half the people show up. It makes no sense, right? Like, it doesn't work. So what we want to do is, as soon as they book that call, we want to create a process that then increases the relationship even more, right? Because number 1, we got to get them to show up for that call. That's super important. Who cares if they booked and they don't show up, right? So number 1, we're going to get them to show up. That's the first thing we're going to do. The second thing is we want to have some case studies of things that you've done, some testimonials if possible, also some strategic engagement videos if possible, or trainings. And we're going to create some stuff for them so that they engage it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I can't believe it. Oh, this is great. I'm so excited about learning this. This person's so right. So maybe some diagnosis training. We don't have to like give them a bunch of free stuff. We just have to give them some ideas, stuff to think about before the call that makes you look better and makes them want to show up for the call to learn even more, sort of like an appetizer. And then what that does is it does a number of things. The first thing it does is it keeps them engaging your content. So you're always top of mind from the time they book a call till the time they show up. So you're top of mind, you're there, they're engaging it, so they're going to show up at a way higher rate. The second thing they're going to do is they're going to show up in a better mindset versus a more skepticism, like, I booked this call, what's going on? Now you've given so much value, they're like, wow, this has been amazing, I've learned so much, this person knows a lot, I'm so excited to learn from them. So now they see you as a trusted advisor versus some like marketer who's trying to sell them something. Okay, it's because nobody likes to be sold, but everybody likes to buy. And so we want to set them up for that. Now, I want you to leave you with this secret. Okay, do not allow your calendar to go out for more than 2 business days. All right, it's super important. You allow it to go out too far, the problem is people will no-show. They won't show up for these calls. All these things are going to happen. So you want them to show. You want to make sure that you do that. Okay, don't allow them to go out more than 2 days. All right. Now, what I want you to do next is one final thing. I have a free upcoming webinar on the 300-word Facebook ad strategy that I've used to build a 7-figure coaching business and the snowball system. And what I want to do is click in the description or in the pinned post or pinned comment and register for that free upcoming webinar where I'm going to share with you what I've learned spending about almost 2.8 million since 2021 on Facebook ads, what's working now to get clients, how you can start on a super small budget, the fastest way to get going, how Facebook's AI is literally doing everything for you, why it's never been better, never been easier, the mistakes that most gurus are telling you to do, which are not true, and how to get started ASAP. So click that link, get registered for that webinar, and we'll see you over there.